streaming. It's me, ya boy. Make sure I get everything set up. But I'm finally back. Now, today's game, I think it's a dating sim. It's called Don't Eat the Cashier. And I wanted to play it. I saw it and I got it. That might be too loud, actually. It's actually too quiet for me. That's a little bit better. All right, let's. If it's a problem, I'll fix it all later. The pronouns are she, her. Yes, they are. Body type 2. Body type 2. Cool, cool. What's your name? That's not my name. There we go. Next. Your name is Sterling. That it is. Sometimes I really wonder, how did I end up here? Not that I dreamed of a career as a neurosurgeon or an astronaut, but for crying out loud, working at a gas station. On the other hand, money is money. I know that's right. I sent out resumes to every conceivable and inconceivable place, applying for every position where I could somehow use my degree in art. I have a degree in art and I work at a gas station? Zero response. I had to swallow my pride and find at least something. Human organism wanted for work at gas station. Organism duties include selling food for mouth, silence and obedience, household tasks, obeying those who are more ancient, friendly team offers, new and old faces of friends, long and different life, consumptions of nourishment, juicy juices, tips for human places. Food for mouth, seriously? This guy's got a style of his own. Apparently the manager is just an agent dude. Oh, eccentric dude. Or is this their new marketing tactic to grab attention? Whatever, people often told me that I have quirks too, and that's even if they haven't seen my persona. Well, whatever, as long as he's not a complete jerk who will hit me or make me scrub the floors with a toothbrush. Right. I didn't scream, I couldn't move. My brain feverishly tried to find a category for this in its database. Hallucination, psychosis, too many energy drinks, a typical middle manager. The monster from my nightmare stirred. Its tentacles crept closer to the counter. My God. The creature made a sound, not from a mouth, it had none. The sound emitted from deep within its bulk, hollow, profound, bone shaking. Greetings, organism. I am Bob, the terrifying consumer of worlds. Consumer of worlds? Eater of worlds? I've played Terraria. But you, grain of sand, may call me Manager Bob. Got you. No. This isn't real. I'm dreaming. I need to wake up. You will sell food for mouths. Sorry. I'm drinking sparkling water. You will sell food for mouths and obey me, for I am ancient. Memorize the rules of this establishment, for my patient is limited as the salary I offer you. Rule number 1, you sell, no matter what. Chicken food for the mouth, gremlin fuel, noodles made from cursed souls. Lottery tickets for extra limb raffles, discount rod, ritual foil, everything must be sold. He points directly at me with a creepy, slimy tentacle. That's not my drink. This is my drink. Every miserable unit of currency brings me closer to my triumphant exit from this pitiful hole. I pinched myself but didn't wake up. Rule number 2, be polite to customers, ignore bald spots and werewolf fur, and watch out for drafts when ecoplasmic energetic entities are in store. What? Don't let them get too bold. The customers are just walking containers for currency, and they should only pay in monetary units. Payment and external dread or hair of the dead is not accepted. Many of them come here just to chat because they are idle and purposeful organisms. Your task is to make them part with the currency anyway. It is also your duty to heal organisms if they are injured using special kits. If they die, they can't give away currency. Why would I call why would I call Bob Deere? I'll just silent trembling fear. All just doesn't fit in my head. Oh, I can save. Let me save right here. Okay, there we go. I'm shaking so much that the cheap plastic bag pinned to my uniform rattles. I'm the embodiment of pure, unadulterated terror. This is the correct reaction when confronted with a superior entity. Your fear is evidence of a functional survival instinct. That pointing noise is terrible. However, it is completely unacceptable. Many of our customers enjoy seeing a smile, muscle spasm on the face of the serving organism. I gather all my remaining motor control that isn't currently engaged in convulsions. Then I take a shaky breath and attempt to smile. The corners of my mouth twitch upwards, but not in sync. I can feel one side higher than the other. Acceptable. Oh, he has little hearts by his name. I like him. The instrumental is a bit distracting, but the main muscle groups are active in the correct configuration. So many big words for elbow. You have successfully created a smile. Maintain this configuration in all custom interactions. He suddenly places a jar in front of me on the counter. And the last rule, remember, organism. This tip container must be filled with money by the end of your wake cycle. My wake cycle. If the bottom of the jar is visible, you will clean the sanitary room with this object in the dimension of absolute horrors and suffering for 2,510 years. With the fork? I couldn't take my eyes off the fork, the potential tool of my internal servitude. At this moment, my mind fully capulated. Yes, I was hired by a multi-eye cosmic Arctic squid. Yes, my clients will be non-humans. Yes, I'm being threatened with a fork and internal toilet cleaning. How could anyone clean anything with a fork? The same will happen if you even think of escaping before the end of your work contract. My ocular, oh my god, perceives the semblance of matters. It will detect you in any corner of this pitiful planetary sphere. Crap, I'm stuck here. I'm in a trap. But do you understand, organism? Chill. Acceptable. Goodbye, organism. Good luck in your currency and button pressing. Thanks, man. Adequate. Your willingness to fulfill your work duties deserves my emotional approval. Human entity, you are acceptable. If you accept a monetary reward instead of an emotional one, you need to immediately reconsider your moral compass. Greed is a highly condemned trait for a human organism. This concludes the briefing. Do not tremble anymore and be a brave organism in the future. But if it benefits business, then tremble. Okay, Mr. Krabs. He didn't turn around as a human world. Oh, as a human would. His tentacles simply shifted his entire mass into another direction with a soft gurgling sound as he'd waddle across the aluminum. He finally left me alone. I'm gonna stay right here. Chill, why is it evil? The silence at the gas station was broken only by the hum of refrigerators containing juicy juices and the buzzing of a neon lamp above my head. I stood in the same spot as if rooted to the ground. My breath returned to me in a sharp, uneven gasp. My hands were shaking. The tip jar, which I needed to fill to avoid ending up in a dimension of ancient horror, still stood proudly at the counter. So, what just happened? Option 1. I've gone insane. That's the most logical conclusion. Prolonged stress from job hunting, malnutrition, nerves, anxiety, and a disrupted sleep schedule. My brain just malfunctioned. Yes, that's it. I'm going to wake up on my couch in a dingy rented apartment. I pinch myself again, in nothing. I forgot games like this is just all talking. I scanned the room once more. It smelled of gasoline and old coffee. It was still absurdly real. And that meant everything he said was all true. Werewolves, vampires, tips, pork. A hysterical mist of laughter and a scream of terror welled up in my throat, but I held it back. I needed to get through this. I needed to. Right? Don't tell me. The first customer. The door's open. Where's the jingling coming from? Bells? What the? Oh. Where did the clown come from? I took a great effort not to look away from those eyes, but that's so loud for me. There we go. I took a great effort not to look away from those red eyes burning the pitch black darkness. Is he amused? Is he wondering if I'm tasty? Bob didn't exactly give me any guarantees that I wouldn't be devoured at work. My brain is still recovering from the encounter with Bob. Was frantically trying to figure out how to break this ringing silence. Oh my god, how is that so loud? Nope. Purchase? Why he kinda... Purchase? I would like to purchase your attention. You got it. Ah, a bargain. But is it wise to put your best merchandise on discount? We're flirting. Anyway, I adore good bargains, especially when they're absolutely unfair. We're flirting. It is truly, in a truly fair world, my dear soul, you'd be worth more than $6 an hour. That's how much I make. Can a mere piece of paper reflect your unquinness? I don't know what that means. Can even 6 of them? Not even 20 could. And I wouldn't mind 20 extra pieces of measly paper. My god, another crazy person with a strange way of speaking. And it seems he's in the mood for a chat. So what a beautiful, charming lady like you doing in such a dreadful, dirty island of misfortune. I'm working, bro. Or rather, what is a place like this doing with such a charming lady as you? I like him. Okay. Oh wait, where are my manners? I suppose I must introduce myself. I have many names, most of which are not fit to be spoken in the company of a lovely lady. The nicest I've heard is the Mad King. A title I plan to pass from me to myself for the oncoming centuries. However, my mortal mother named me Darian. Duran? Let's call you Duran. Now, may I have your hand? I'm gonna save right here. I just want to see what happens. Oh. He burst into a genuine blooming laughter. Your mother was truly a wise woman. A masterful stroke of self-preservation. I haven't been rebuffed so delightfully in, well, at least a century. Others prefer to use enchanted swords and pitchforks. I don't have those, Duran. You're Darian, forget it. They forget that words can wound too. Perhaps I can still melt your heart. I have an eternity for that, literally. May I know your name? You can know your name. A queen, your majesty. All the good picks here. Forgive my outrageous ignorance. I did not recognize the noble kingdom of oil and discount juicy drinks. He's cool. I love you, Darian. I humbly bow before you, your majesty of the midnight shift. Sorry I didn't send envoys ahead. This is great. A pardon from the lips of the queen herself. How my wounded soul rejoices. I am redeemed, reborn in the light of your mercy. This art of mercy will be sung by the poets of my realm, those who can still rhyme rather than just wallow in alcoholic oblivion. You know, my company has an especially interesting effect on the artistic types, as have I discovered. Nothing surprising there. It seems I've gone mad myself, or halfway there. Maybe it happened around the time I decided to become an artist. I'm indeed exchanging silly jokes with some mysterious toothy entity as if it's nothing. Maybe I just adapt to this new profession really quickly? Or perhaps I had a stash of nerves of steel in a bag. I can't shake the feeling though that this clown is about to explode himself or blow me up. I feel like my brain is turning into jelly. And I don't understand when we'll finally get to the point. Actually, it's not all that bad. Maybe I've just been spoiled by all those mangas about sinister and tragic monsters. Though the only tragic thing about this client so far is his tragic unwillingness to buy my discount rod. So I'll finally get the purpose of my visit. Finally. It's completely unknown to me. Alright, Darian. Oh, for crying out loud. Literally. There's nothing interesting in the assortment of this pathetic shack except you, so I'm buying your time. Get out. Let's have dinner. I'm sure you must be hungry. Whoa. Oh no. Allow me to create a more pleasant atmosphere for us. This is actually terrible. This is terrible. Sorry. I'm shivering from a gust of icy wind. He just teleported half of my gas station to a radioactive dump, or a radioactive dump to my gas station. And my jar is gone. My freaking jar. My dear, I expect your life hasn't been easy, but was it really that bad? Don't worry, I won't abandon a lady in distress. Just say the word and I'll relocate you to one of these incredible cozy dwellings. This is terrible, Darian, actually. I'm sure the local cockroaches won't mind, and together you can fully enjoy the scent of atomic decay. However, I can't go long without familiar landscapes. Already ruined land to make me melancholic because all the fun has happened without me. Disgusting. Allow me. This is something seemingly less radioactive. Sorry, that was like worded really weirdly. Amazingly, I haven't thrown up yet. It feels like I've been flushed twice through a interdimensional toilet. I cleared my throat. Seems like I'm sitting at a table. Oh. Much better, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, this is beautiful. Couldn't be better. Words of a true poet, Sterling. My two favorite categories, strange and beautiful. This place is much more than a home. It's my cage and my greatness canvas for creativity. Every ugly tree, every mad toad, every eye-bearing mushroom, it's all a piece of me. Marvelous place except when the rocks grow legs and start running. including those that people that make their homes out of. And now you're a part of this place too. Isn't it wonderful? I'm slowly getting used to the landscape. The fireflies here are quite charming, but it would be better without that frog with a human fate. The frog notices me too. Aw. It lets out a sad croak and then looks at me with an expression of deep external despair. Darren seems to notice my discomfort anyway. Alright. His gaze follows mine until it lands on the strange frog. It seems you noticed my pal Lori. That's Lori, one of the brave souls who dared to challenge my authority. My dear friend who once walked the path of adventure. However, he didn't foresee the possibility of being turned into a frog on a whim. He even tried to wield a sword with his tiny frog legs. Fought to the end, a true warrior. Now, however, his foes are mosquitoes and bigger frogs. Tell me, dear, does he bother you? His little external froggy crisis? I mean, is it ruining the ambience? He looks at me with an interested expression. I'm gonna save right here just because I see a very interesting choice I want. Watch life pass him. See us enjoy a dinner of more than just mosquitoes and swamp water. Yeah, I knew it. My dear, you are a treasure trove of delightful, dark little surprises. So dinner, I'm sure you must be starving. Traveling between realities must be exhausting. Yeah, you're telling me. Meat with honey? You know, that doesn't sound terrible. This looks strange, but it smells delicious. Meat with honey. And next to the meat, a purple soup, possibly made from a less fortunate cashier. Oh. Whether the food is poison or not, if I refuse, His Highness might turn me into a frog too, so I pick up the fork from the table. And this is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. It's 100 times better than the cheap instant noodles I usually buy in supermarkets. Even the fact that I'm currently in some other universe surprisingly doesn't seem to harm my appetite. It seems you enjoy your cuisine. My chefs have always managed to cook well on those occasions when I notice it. I assure you, you won't regret this dinner, at least not for the first half hour after the meal. Yes, thank you. You are very kind. This is the best purple goo in my miserable life as a miserable cashier. Why are you doing all this? This dinner that teleports all that. Thank you for the food on my plate, not staring back at me. Don't give me ideas I might not be able to resist. To your fortune, however, I want your lovely eyes to look at me and only me. Both the left and the right. Not up and down? I particularly like the right one. It has more spark. I poke at the food. I'm losing it. I poke at the food with my fork and watch the peculiar scenery from the corner of my eye. A silence hangs between us that might even be called cozy. Were I under heavy narcotics. Fewer words, fewer chances of catching a daily magic projectile or something worse. By the way, how does the meat taste? Is the human flesh tender enough? You're joking, Darian. My fork freezes halfway. Did I pick the wrong option? I meet his gaze slowly with all the authority, place a piece of meat in my mouth and begin to chew without breaking eye contact. I can't remember seeing someone so shocked in my life. His mad grin vanishes, his eyes widen, and his own fork freezes halfway to his mouth. For one precarious, glorious, sweet moment, the Lord of Chaos is completely and utterly baffled. My dear, you are a true treasure. You didn't just call my bluff, you raised the stakes to the sky. No, it's certainly not human. It's just venison, as far as I can tell by the taste. Not very intelligent. Oh, like the deer? Unless I'm dumb. It's definitely not Timmy, our carpenter, who unexpectedly disappeared near the large kitchen cauldron, perfectly sized to fit in. Definitely not. I've personally issued several decrees related to cannibalism, perhaps even concerning its probation. I don't know what that says, but that's besides the point. I rarely have visitors, and I like to tell you about other interesting guests after all. It's the more fascinating thing I can share with you. For a place where mushrooms with eyes grow, it can be incredibly dull here. Shadows. Hold on. That's a nice beat. Shadows in the clearing thicken and stir. They detach from the gnarled trees rising from the ground like black ink and spread across the wall. Dancing and entwining, they prepare to perform all of their master's whim. Behold this incredible crooked castle, my dear, crooked to the point of absurd sadly. In reality, its curves look far more aesthetic, but give the creator some leeway for expressiveness. Many brave and not so bright souls have tried to conquer this terrifying, dark, eerie, crooked castle, so many that it became even more crooked. It looks fine to me. Never mind. You see, the dreadful monster living there never liked being distracted from its important duties. Terribly important duties like having a long, deep conversation with its own reflection or concocting recipes with raisins. Concocting recipes with raisins. I'm just blowing through these words. He hates raisins too. Yes, you do understand. They're a real horror, aren't they? Tiny shriveled bits of deception. They pretend to be sweet, but they're just made to ruin. They ruin lovely cookies, ruin family photos. They have no place in civilized society. Oh, how I understand them. The monster was a tyrant, a menace. He sowed chaos and disorder, mostly on purpose. He had countless opportunities for creativity and wasn't afraid to use them. He made some people believe they were pigeons and others they were grains. He wouldn't allow his best servants to have windows, fearing that the moon, okay, there we go, and both sons would get envious and want to take them away, and he demanded they sealed the gaps in the door as well. He liked wizards who came for him for magical gifts in a giant laboratory and promised them power if they invented a kettle that could boil everything except water. What? Invented? Oh, they did much more. After 11 years of failed prototypes, a few explosions, and chemical runnings away on their own legs, they succeeded. The kettle could boil even bright memories, but not water. Water would instantly freeze, explode, and file for divorce. I immediately rewarded them with a new invention idea, a cup with a sealed top without a bottom. Let's see how they handle that. That's terrible. But I digress. Couldn't they just like flip it? But behold, a red light in the Dark Kingdom, the first hero. Sir Lori, the righteous in all his claiming self-important glory. He took a knee to rest briefly because the weight of his righteousness was bad for the health of his poor back. Following rumors spread by the same monster, he fought his way through the monster's royal subjects too. By the way, where did he... Oh my god. By the way, where did he even find them? Most of my subjects are too busy contemplating the color of suspenders for their suspenders or eliminating their fate. I cherish them in their imperfection. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were probably the most restless of them. Every story needs minions. In any case, our hero descends into the Grotto of Despair. The Grotto of Tentacles? Imagine the most sinister name you can imagine. You can conjure. Same thing. The dreadful imperfection human body. The worst affliction is having them in your kidneys. What a joy that I now can choose how many I have. Whoa. I I prefer a negative number, as one does. But let's not get sidetracked. Into the grotto of kidney stones, our hero descends to retrieve an artifact capable of defending the Monster King. The ring of incredible power, a bit shoddily crafted, but I assure you it looks more aesthetic in real life. However, the brave knight didn't know that the incredible power of ring lays in its 4,400 pound weight that was only magical property. The only incredible thing about this ring was its incredible stupidity and uselessness. The realization that he had spent weeks of his life on a divinely heavy power weight, and the sudden crushing thought that he had become bigger instead of a hero just to get some sleep. Well, it broke his poor noble mind. Not that his mind was ever intended for serious burdens. A bit of gloating, a touch of dreadful, deserve, I don't know what that word is. Oh, splendid. How wonderful that we shared this dish together. So the night perished. But then along came Elmer Eagle Eye. Elmer Eagle Eye? They say he earned his nickname by escaping from an enemy fortress on the third day of his captivity. He noticed that his prison cell was lacking the fourth wall. This is a silly game. An archer of legendary skill who tried to kill me with a precise shot consistently during breakfast, while bathing, at balls, during sleep, and even while I was devising a plan to get rid of him. The audacity. I hate just killing them. Turning them into Magnum is such more fun. As I bestowed a little curse upon the elf as well, I made it so that every time he drew his bowstring, he'd hear the most annoying melody to his ears. What? Elmer was a terrible racist. He hated dwarves, so naturally the melody became the national anthem of the dwarves, played in the lute by a bagpipe orchestra. The pure rage it provoked derailed his aim every time. Eventually, he stormed the castle, dropped his bow, and begged for a job at my court in exchange for changing the song to anything else. He was desperate, and I was a villain. Everything aligned incredibly well. I have Carmex up here. I just don't know where my Carmex is up here. Never mind, I found it. Sorry. There's like 8 cans up here. Not of beer, just like of liquid death. And 1 tea. Now he's my royal huntsman. The dwarf march is replaced with a lively oven sea shanty, and let no one dare accuse me of being callous and heartless. Now he has a salary, good food, clothing, entertainment, and a full guaranteed of I'm not reading that. Sterling, where were you before? Horse odysseys and conference to long, oh my god, so many long words. It just makes me look so stupid that I'm not gonna even try to pronounce them. Endless rhyme verses about the shine of a beloved beard. It's a refined, delicious thing. Why didn't I think of it myself? To torment a man not with the sound of war and whatever that word says, but with the clumsy, heartful caterwauling of a species of his despises. Turning a love song into an instrument of pure, heart-wrenching agony. Brilliant. This dude almost like a dictionary. Because there's no way. Well, I'll steal your idea for the future. I'm gonna go buy a dictionary. And finally, the witch in a classic giant hat, under which you could easily fit another witch. What? You tried a different approach. Seduction. She attempted to charm me, to gain my trust, to become my spouse. A fatal miscalculation. She didn't consider the fact that I never trusted big hats or people, especially when both come in hand. Especially when both come hand in hand. What? And those who wear suspenders and a belt at the same time, a person who doesn't even trust their own pants, certainly doesn't earn the trust of His Highness. Darian is the most peculiar person I've ever met. Then again, I don't trust His Highness either. I don't trust myself, especially the left side of my brain, especially on Thursdays. But back to heads. It's been like 30 minutes, man. You are my kindred spirit. Those heads are so pretentious, so self-assured. They block the view, get stuck in doorways, and always hint that the wearer is compensating for something. This is the best game ever. Usually, lack of magical talent or pitiful personality, and that's on a good day. You, my dear Sterling, have impeccable taste in headwear and consequently in everything else. It's scientifically proven fact. Meanwhile, the witch was quite overt in her murderous intentions, jingling with all her concealed weapons. Why does a witch need so many hidden blades? She must have been very bad at witchery. In any case, she now resides in my dungeon. And you see, I haven't decided what to do with her yet. Her fate is a blank slate, a story yet to be written, so I offer you the pen. I simply adore random choices. Give me yours, Sterling. What punishment befits her? Alright, let me say right here. What? Does he really want me to decide what to do with a real person? Can I even save her? It doesn't matter what I choose. Everything here follows his whims anyway. But as long as I play the circus monkey, I have a chance to get out of here alive. Maybe I should just entertain him? What should I do? Yeah, I'm here for this. I don't know what her problem is, but I, for one, would want to stay here with Darian. The one who lived by a big head shall become a small head. The irony is so absurd, it's beautiful. So let it be. So be it. Let her be a small cap of eternal regret. She tried to get into my head and now she can barely cover it. A brilliant sentence. Dear, who cares about these monsters anyway? How eloquent. Alright, I must admit, this will be my first performance like this. Darian sounds a bit bewildered, it seems. Allow me to just toss my mind up and see how it lands. You see, the monster was originally much more modest and less majestic, but we all have to start somewhere, right? Then my head suddenly became a bit crowded. First whispers, then arguments, then full-fledged discussions that had to be participated in and involved inanimate objects. Guests in ajar doors, closets, even in cookie jars, every container a potential foe, and I was surrounded by containers. To be fair, sometimes they told funny stories. That's fair. But why was I afflicted with this curse? Pondering, it drives me mad, even more so. It seems the question is meant for me. I want to do the Asperger's one just because that one seems funny. Oh, there's no way. My lady, that's so mundane. That's exactly what happened. You've guessed it. It's all about rotten blood. Too pure. I beg your pardon. My great-grandfather issued a decree forbidding death from old age, and a distant aunt believed a colony of sentient mold was living in her walls, claiming her inheritance. But I always thought I'd be spared from this fate. I'd be spared this fate. Same thing. I had to be temporarily isolated to avoid embarrassing guests at royal balls, with the young prince pointing at noble lords and saying, haha, the gnomes finally got out of their from under my bed. What a misfortune for the entire family, except for those in line for the throne before me. My death would have solved many problems for my family, and indeed, many of my own problems too. I made a decision, we made it, to be precise. There was already a whole council of us by then. Council. However, Chaos had other plans. A god, a goddess, a cosmic serial error. I don't know. Something ancient and terrible bored and found itself a new source of entertainment. It offered me a throne, my own corner of reality to rule, where the fragments of my mind would become the laws of the land. No more restrictions or pains for my subjects if I wished. Alright. My subjects, at first, they disagreed, but then they came to terms, or their minds changed to fit the new realities. And here I am. A dramatic silence ensures. Perhaps I'm the first being to hear this story in the century of its existence. I must choose my next words carefully. I gotta save. Will you give me a tip? I really sympathize with you and your multiple personalities. Yeah, I think that was a good one. Oh, don't waste your sympathy on me or them. Many of them are awful people, though some are quite decent. Not you, Jerome. You're the worst. You're the worst. A cricket hole in a pie. A cricket hole in a pie. But that's like feeling sorry for an earthquake anyway, or rising food prices. He let out a quiet chuckle. Do you really sympathize with someone who dragged you into his dimension to tell us silly stories and feed you purple goo? People never cease to amaze me. I'm gonna touch his hand. Following a strange impulse, I reach out to his hand resting on the table. His gaze slowly follows my movement, lowering to our hands. This time, no commentary. Instead, his thumb begins to trace patterns on the back of my hand with surprisingly tenderness. Have I found my love? The shadows finally dissolve into nothingness. I just turned a living being into a hat. I'd rather become the catalyst for it. I wonder what kind of nightmare are worn in such a case. I'm afraid royal duties await me. Our time is up. I shall send you back, Sterling. I rise from the chair. Whoa! And suddenly I feel him press against my back. This is supposed to be PG-13. One of his hands grips me just above the crook of my elbow, while the other gently rests under my chin, tilting my head back into my ears just a couple of centimeters from his lips. But don't think for a second this is goodbye. It was merely an overture. His voice, usually so mocking and calm, now sounds eerily sinister. A cold thumb lightly strokes the line of my jaw. I try to suppress a shiver. You are a very interesting, incredible, curious guest, possibly the most curious one I've had in centuries. And I found that I don't want our acquaintance to end here. It's terrible and fair that you learn a couple of my secrets revealed to a few of yours, isn't it? I can't tell whether he's flirting or threatening, both, perhaps. A bird trapped in a cage of bills, failures, and endless anxiety. How high could you fly once the cage is opened? Your shift will end, the sun will rise, and you'll want to head home, perhaps on something more elegant than a bus, maybe in a carriage of polished bones. We'll meet again, Sterling, very, very soon, and next time, I won't let you go so quickly. I squeeze my eyes shut. The light is blinding even with my eyes closed, so unusual after all this darkness. The jar is full of money. It was all worth it. Greeting, organism. How is your work progressing? I see the first transaction was successful, acceptable. This still doesn't save you from the threat of cleaning sanitary facilities, but is a wonderful starting point for your entire tiny life. Chill. Even more than successful, the client tried to fill the entire station with money, probably due to extreme affection for you, organism. Wait, is this how I get tips? I just go on little trips with the people and flirt with them, and then they give me money? I'm a whore. I'm a whore. Unfortunately, the terms of intergalactic treaty do not allow such actions. Tips exceeding the amount set by the council by approximately that number were, whatever that says, to my great regret. To my great as well. So, a mad god from another world likes me. In some sense, that's possibly worse than not being liked at all. Excellent. Maintain this level of productivity. You may be rewarded with an additional 5-minute feeding break if you can find food. Rejoice in my generosity. Thanks, man. Continue working. I am experiencing a positive emotional reaction. I am proud of you, and I will be even prouder if you acquire even more currency. Your tactic of jesting, carefree organism is clearly paying off. Is brown nosing acceptable here? I'm gonna save and find out. It did. Your comment regarding the shiny of my appendages is noted, organism. The secret is... Alright. Remember, guys, write that down if you want shiny tentacles. Whitey glitched. Goodbye. He slaps across the floor to his office. As soon as Bob's rhythmic wet slaps fade away, deep silence descends on the station. One moment I am surreal for standing on purple goo with a mad god. A god who liked me so much that he offered me a ride back to his world in a carriage made of bones. The next moment I'm being praised by a multi-eyed tentacle monster. Maybe these are all just deathbed hallucinogens. Yeah. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Disgusting. I have to deal with that too. In the midst of my compensation, terrifying sounds emerge from my boss's office. Ew. Unfair bills. Unacceptable large numbers. Of course, what else could upset him so much if not that? Steps another visitor. This one decides to come in through the door for a change. Joba oil? I know that's not how you pronounces it, but that's the thing that that's what I use to gauge my ears. He seems unwell. Hope he doesn't knock over my shelves of shampoo with joba oil and delicate lilies on his way. You look kind of cool. I'm not gonna hold you up. He's not as pretty as the jester, but I like him. He's not just unwell. He looks like literally all the skin on his left side is torn off from his jaw to his temple. Oh, I thought that was just really dark blood. I swallow nervously. What kind of meat grinder has this guy been through? He looks like someone who could rip me apart if he doesn't like what he hears. Yeah, the long way. I need to be careful if I don't want to become the next victim. Well, I need to save. Wait. This one, maybe giggle. Give him the thumb. You look like the Terminator at the end of the second movie, buddy. The Terminator who just wrecked my entire floor gives him a thumbs up. I wanna do this one. Well, it's hard to imagine how the other fighter looks. Hey! He lets out a gurgling, raspy laugh. You don't want to know what the other fighter looks like. You just seem so awkward now. Honestly, I really don't want to know. My inner archive label, I don't want to know this, is risk of bursting from overflow tonight. Words clearly come to him with great difficulty, which is probably not surprising for a man without half a face. He clears his throat, but doesn't help much. I need blood. Oh. He tried to smile. It would be charming if he still had the necessary muscles. He's hot. That will haunt me in my nightmares, among other things. The client pauses again briefly to clear his throat. Let me see. Let me see what we have. Ah, good choice, babe. Step to the storage. You step to the storage. You're in my way. Just in case. I don't think I picked a good choice. Maybe. He suddenly leans forward, boring into me with his remaining eye. Go and find me some blood. Bro! Okay. A strange pressure builds in my head and the edge of my vision blurs and unwilling command blossoms in the center of my mind. I don't know why, but I feel incredibly strong urge to find blood right now. My client is covered in blood, but still hungry. Maybe he fought with something inedible. Or is it his own? I find myself in a storeroom, a tangled labyrinth of shelves reaching up to up to the ceiling, stuffed with boxes, crates, and mysterious cans. In a corner, something rustles and snorted suspiciously. What? So where could the blood be? I need to think fast. He's not going to wait forever. Right now, I'm at the very beginning of this crazy place. I'm going to save. Okay. These signs are driving me insane. I really hope my manager will eventually learn English properly. I'm surrounded by pure madness of anxious packaging and even in front of the department entrances. There's some baby food for cyborg pile up. I'm frantically trying to decipher the crooked inscriptions. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. Dense energy blocks for chewing, infuse nutritional flows, food afraid of heat. I'm gonna save again. And then I'll probably go with this one. That doesn't help. Here are endless shelves of drinks next to Coca-Cola are bottles labeled liquid regret. Liquid regret? You mean liquid death? That was a stupid joke, sorry. Oh, I'm supposed to be reading these out loud. I'm just clicking through. I take each shelf, pushing aside cans of essence of shits and giggles, but nothing resembling blood. The closest thing is liquid hemorrhaging in a giant wooden crate. It smells worse than it looks. I hear knocking. Oh, the giggle one got me. It's the dry, rhythmic tapping of knuckles on the laminated countertop. It's not loud, but persists and full of irritation. In front of me are sections with food for mouth. The coldest corner of the store. Large freezer chests and refrigerators with glass doors are covered in frost. Next to the frozen pizza are gremlin cryo capsules, and among the buckets of ice cream you can find flavors with minty, whatever that says, and liquid family. Oh my god. A huge freezer chamber. Matter of lesser life forms. I should probably save again. Man, my save is being filled up just because this dude wants some blood. He couldn't even be nice about it either. Bingo, there's animal blood here. I'll save. I'll save again. And I'll probably take this one. In the corner of the fridge, instead of packaged goods, sits a live plump rat. No! I look at this. Nope. 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 I'm going back. That's not what I wanted. Dang it. Alright, man, forget it. I guess we'll just feed him the rat. I look at this unfortunate creature, looks back at me with tiny pleading bead-like eyes. Leaves the rat alone. I'd rather him get me. Maybe it's about
regeneration or something else, but he seems better because I hear impatient footsteps. Great, now he's fidgeting. He can't, oh my god, he can't sit still anymore. This isn't just a patient, it's anxiety, and I really don't like where this anxiety could lead him. I need to hurry. I need to reach the chamber. The section reeks of formaldehyde? I don't know what that, I know what that is, but I don't know what that is. And horror. Glass jars filled with murky liquid sit on the shelves where exhibits float. Kevin? I try to think about one of the containers holding a name tag that reads Kevin. Take blood of human organism, Kevin. Taste of unfulfilled dreams and unwarranted expectations. Take blood of human organism, homeless. High content of cheap alcohol and tuberculosis. We're gonna take Michael. So this time I actually will save here. Let's take Michael. This blood in the jar has a rich, almost glowing ruby hue. It looks unhealthy and full of energy. Michael, whoever you were on top. Champion blood flowed right through you. You were probably something like an energy drink for undead. And yet, here you are in a jar. There's something to ponder. He abruptly lifts his head as I approach. You could have hurried up. I'm sorry, man. He grumbles, but his tone reveals that he feels relief. The search could have taken even longer. Now hand over that blood. Oh. My client finishes the jar and then grimaces. For crying out loud. What is this? He reads the note on the jar. Michael? Well, you're a lucky guy, Michael. Too bad I can't kill him a second time. Tastes like a happy family, a successful career, a retirement account, and this jerk probably never even had cockroaches. Alright, I'm gonna save. And I'm gonna say that about Michael being in the jar now. He chuckles quietly. Yeah, there's something to that. Cool that you found human blood. Good job, you're sharp. It took longer to get the rat. Oh. Really? You're wrong there, babe. The closest was your carcass. So you can thank your lucky stars that you're still alive. You're clearly tastier than a rat. Of course I am. In a way, that's a compliment. Yeah. I'm gonna go wash my dirty face. Don't get bored. While he's not here, I have a perfect opportunity to wipe away the blood stains. I'm just scrubbing a pool of blood on my first day at work. An interesting story for Reddit. I'm cool. It's cool that there's Reddit in this universe. A wonderful tale. I'm doing just fine. Nobody's eating me. Oh. Those eyebrows look familiar. He has the same eyebrows from this BL I read from long ago. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called like Office Love or something like that. I don't read BL. It was a joke. He's looking so much fresher. The second half of his face, although his expression still resembles that of a constipated owl. You will not stay in here. I'll just stay in here for a while, okay? Take a little break. Besides, there's nobody here with you right now. My manager's in the back. Oh, his name's David. What? And just so you know, if you try to contact the werewolves, I'll take your head and crush it like a walnut. I'm a vampire, by the way. A vampire, as you may have already guessed. What an incredible, interesting way to start an acquaintance. Especially that part about the walnut. I'm Cristal, like the champagne. If you get that reference, you're elite. Okay, Sterling. I knew a girl once. She used to trade kidneys in, what? She used to trade? She was a good girl until she got packed up. He was trying to provoke me, deliberately, sharing the dirty details of his life to see how comfortable I can get. A catalog? Do you seriously have a catalog? Shut up, David. He leans forward, genuinely intrigued, peering into the catalog. Gremlin kidneys? Is that a delicacy? Why does it say both delicacy and fuel and animal venom? Oh no. Because it's a universal product. Want some? I do. What? Look like I found my best customer for today. Now I have a vampire here and he's regenerating. Wonderful. The main thing is not accidentally blurt out something wrong. What? The main thing is not to accidentally blur out something wrong. I need to be friendly. I'll save here. I'll take this one. What is that? I'm no Ruffles. What even is that? Some French insult? I think I picked the wrong one. His expression is as if I suggested he wear a maid's outfit. He'll defend that worn leather monstrosity at the cost of his life. That's obvious. Ruffles are not just a piece of clothing, they're a concentrated strike right at the core of his cool vampire persona. 24? I don't wear any ruffles, I'm just 24 years old. Okay, I thought I just heard a noise. David slightly grimaces as he moves his hand. What? Probably not all the wounds I feel completely. Does being a vampire doctor fall under my duties? I think Bob said it was mandatory. He looks at me skeptically. The offer of help is probably so foreign and unexpected to him that it leaves him momentarily dumbfounded. You... what? You want to play nurse? The flicker of confusion is replaced by something more intense. There's just a couple of scratches and a little piece of... it'll grow back on its own. I'm fine. I'll probably pick that first one. Really? And how am I supposed to clean with a fork? And why such a ridiculous amount of time? Is there that much cosmic crap in there? His voice carries a clear mockery. He's about to say something even more sarcastic when suddenly Bob has returned to his accounts. The sound he makes still fills my soul with dread. Probably not just mine. That's Bob. Finally, the forks and toilets break through his last layer of defenses. Alright, I've spent my life in complete crap. I don't want to spend the next 2 millennia there too. Go ahead. What? Get out your band-aids with Dr. Chocolate or whatever you're selling. Is this not trademark? Bro, Dr. Chocolate and Reddit? The first 2 things I've heard. What's going on here, guys? What's going on here? David shreds his jacket, shirt, and t-shirt. Yeah, 2 shirts on? And settles into a squeaky stool next to the counter. He's about to face a serious trial, staying in a vulnerable position for a few minutes. For some reason, cruel fate hasn't made him claw-proof. It certainly looks like he's just thrown into a blender. Judging by those bullet scars, he has quite an interesting past. Or maybe he was attacked by a werewolf cowboy with guns. Most likely the former. By the way, I didn't know that corpses have doctors too. I thought the only doctor available to me now is the coroner. I'm running through the necromancy kit that was sitting under the counter. It's a heavy military-style metal box with a faded label reading "Kit for Alternative Living Organisms." Inside, beside standard bandages, there were some strange items: silver tweezers, vials of thick glowing liquid, additional fingers, and of course, an instructional manual. A cheap laminated brochure stained with something that looked like coffee. In the instructions, the first point states, determine whether you are dealing with a zombie. Ask your alternative living subject if they wanted to eat someone's brain. He glances skeptically at the pictures flashing in the instructional as I flipped over it. Zombies, necromancers, abominations made of bones, flesh, and cabbage swirl in front of his face like a memorizing kaleidoscope. Oh, I didn't read it right. That's okay. All of this lives in the city sewers? I don't know how you're going to use the bathroom now. It would be great if you didn't notice that. Why do I have to deal with all of this? I still glance at my visitor. I wonder if werewolves just clawed him up or he managed to kill someone too. My instincts, something out of the Stone Age, suggest that my hand is hurt. That he could have. This guy has a killer's gaze. Yeah, he does. If you see someone like him in an alley, your hand automatically reaches for your wallet and phone. Sorry. I lower my eyes. Next point. Let's establish the nature of the injuries. What kind of wounds could werewolves leave? Let me turn my air on because I'm hot. Or not. David listens to this with the pride of a true soldier. Every word feels like a medal for valor. Something like that. He said as if he didn't care, but I know better. Stroke his ego. I'm gonna stroke his ego. It's not the only thing I'll stroke. I'm dying of laughter. He chuckles happily, trying to hide the glimmer of pride behind his humor, but I wouldn't be fooled. David is no longer just a wounded sucker. He's a true gladiator, having survived a battle with rabid beasts. Absolutely epic. I read through the medication I need to grab. The regenerating extract for alternative living life forms. Now what's left is to apply this stuff. I dip my fingers into the jar and suddenly he grabs my hand. Oh, do something wrong and I'll rip your tonsils out through your butt. Well, I suppose it's just a matter of experience properly. And you, well, watch what you're doing, or there'll be consequences. Yeah, okay. Back to the chopper. It seems he just heard the best compliment of his life. I apply the black goo to the wound. A puff of steam rises from the wound, and the air starts to smell like something is frying. It's probably very painful, but David remains calm. Not a single complaint, which is surprising. I hope it's not from your squid manager. Well, we all hope that, buddy. I'll be more careful. My movement becomes a little more
My movement becomes slow and deliberate. I do everything cautiously, barely touching the skin around the wound, allowing him to get used to the sting. I can see the tense muscles in his back and shoulders relaxing slightly. He's still wounded up, but the relief is starting to wash over him. Yeah, there we go. Naturally, no thank yous or pleas from him, but at least he's no longer threatening to do something every 5 seconds. I'll save once again. I don't know how many times I can say. I don't know how many times I can keep saving. And that one. What are you talking about? What nights? What battles? Go along with it. Okay. I fought in alleys thicket of urine against a bunch of dirty werewolves for territory on the outskirts of this godforsaken city. They tore my pants, and I had to take a new pair of junkie who was lying in a puddle nearby. What am I? A knight of what? The knight of torn pants? I'll take it. Okay. David says this almost affectionately. It seems like we're making progress in our relationship. This is such a cool game. This is a cool concept. I finish up. Surprisingly, the wounds really are healing. The scars won't beautifully this man. Huh? Beautify this man. Okay, there we go. Why are you doing all this? This question is asked in an astonishingly serious tone. It's driving me crazy. Even more than that clown from earlier, it seems. Why? David is confused. In his system of beliefs, actions always equal benefits. I'm throwing a wrench into his flawless, long-running mechanism. Oh. I knew from the very beginning, doll. You clearly have a few screws loose in your head if you get pleasure from this. I won't even bother asking what those fetishes are. I just want to sleep in my coffin without any nightmares. Good luck. Alright, moving on, screw this. I honestly don't care what's going on in your head. This is the most unconvincing lie I've ever heard in my life. He clears his throat. Thank you. What? Am I hearing this? I thought he didn't know such words. I'm even afraid to breathe, so I don't. Also, I don't scare off this rare, exotic display of blindness. He says that word if he's pronouncing it for the first time in his life. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually that case. There's a couple more seconds and he's back in front of the counter. So the client is fed, clean, and healed. And he's just still here, not putting any money on the counter, and the chip jar is lacking. I look at him. He's supposed to be full of energy, but instead he looks lost. David is deep in thought in a dark, gloomy little place that occupies his mind. The flow of his thought is interrupted. David lets out an irritated sigh and looks at me as if I just pooped my pants. No, I'm not gonna eat you. Cut the crap out. I'm curious about one thing. I haven't talked to a regular human in a long time. I wonder by regular human does he mean by my extremely natural essence? I'm no vampire, werewolf, or thieving gnome. Or does he mean by my lack of criminal record or an absence of drug or alcohol dependency? Or maybe he's looking for the perspective of an ordinary worker, a working class person, a gray collar. A gray collar? Does your face always look this funny when you're thinking about something? No, just always. I don't even get a chance to respond to his jab before he follows up. Well, let's conduct an experiment. Suppose you're now a free vampire, able to go wherever you want. Do whatever you want. Where will you go? David looks at me expectantly. I'll save. What kind of superpowers do vampires have? What weaknesses will I have? And who were you before the bite? Can you find everyone who wronged you in life and get revenge? All other things depend on who exactly turned into a vampire. Who vamped you? What weaknesses will I have?
If you were ugly before, well, no more tanning, no reflections in mirrors. If you were ugly before, it's actually a bonus, right? You can enter without invitation. Without an invitation? Yeah, you can enter without invitation. Garlic doesn't scare you either. Holy water's trickery depends on the situation. A stake works, but piercing your chest would quite be the challenge. Yeah, would quite the challenging. Whatever he just said. Piercing any part of you is actually the challenge. Actually, our skin is like steel unless a particular persistent werewolf comes along. Well, at least you can enter without invitation. No need of unnecessary chit chat with people. David looks at me expectantly. Kind of superpowers. A whole lot. We're practically a superpower league. I'm sure it never crossed your mind in that reality. Bloodsuckers can be way scarier and scarier than in sappy movies for girls. It looked like you watched Twilight. Interesting. Some of us not only drink human blood, but also capture people to experiment on them. Oh. They turn human bodies into real nightmares of flesh and bones. Dr. Mora can't even imagine. The Twilight? Bro. There's so many like mentions in this game. This is great. And there are vampire sorcerers who can rip your soul out of your body and make you work for them for entity, literally. Seems like I already have one of those sorcerers. His name is Bob. He's checking his bills. And there he is. I wonder what inner strength it took David not to flinch. And there are those who can make your head explode, literally, with just a glance. But not all of us are such wicked bastards. We don't even have to kill a person to eat. We just drink a little instead of gorging yourself like a pig at the trout. But some don't care. They just drain all the blood and splash it everywhere. And the forensics team is baffled why the person turned into a sprinkler before dying. He seems to enjoy talking about how cool vampires are. I want that one. Oh, they sure can, but they don't drink beer afterward. When I just recently turned, about 2 years ago, I tried to eat spaghetti. Not the smartest decision. What happened to your spaghetti? I want to know something else. I've got a decent list of what I can do. I'm not complaining. Imagine it. You never get tired. You could party all night long. Oh. Do that all night long. You're stronger than 10 thugs combined. Well, except for 10 werewolf thugs. That might take some effort. If you want to shrink down and fly somewhere, you can turn into a tiny bat. I'm hungry. Your reflexes become 100 times sharper. You feel everything. You see everything. You can hear a rat pee a block away. I don't want to hear what rats are up to. Oh Lord, Sterling, that's just an idiom. Shut up. You can ignore it if you want to. All vampires could go insane if that was true. Do I look like a madman? Highly, I decided to stay silent. He continues. And finally, you can make people do anything you want. Absolutely anything. David lets out a short, raspy laugh. You're right, most law-abiding citizens avoid me by 100 miles. A working strategy in most cases, but sometimes you need a subtle approach, you know? The word subtle from this guy sounds almost comical. It's one thing to scare someone. They give in just to avoid being harmed. And it's another when they act with full confidence. That's the what? Bro, I can't word today. It's another when they act with full confidence that it's what they want. Okay, cool. Oof. They don't even realize they're just vampire pawns now. Yes, I think I get it. He pulled that trick on me too. David smiles, but this time his smile is strained. These are the words of someone struck in a web of artificial connections and related threats. Fear and supernatural compulsions aren't the best foundations for a strong friendship. Someone give me their wallet. He lets out a quiet chuckle. Well, not exactly friends, more like underlings. You can hatch all sorts of cunning plans with human politicians, or well, pay no rent. The last part sounded like music to my ears. Very cool. Okay. Alright, yeah. Excellent. He leans in a little closer, when suddenly, we hear a wolf howling. I didn't have time to blink before David vanishes. Nice little bat hiding behind the counter. Listen up, don't say anything about me. Sit tight and behave, or you'll feel incredibly... Trust me, if you rub me out to that mud, I'll find a way to get out and twist your head off. The threat in his voice completely lacking, mostly because his voice now comes from a very small, tough, angry bat. Werewolf, a werewolf is about to come here now. The creature steps inside. Good evening, ma'am. Aw. A low, rumbling bass, surprisingly calm and friendly. Ma'am? I'm not sure I understood you correctly. You want to pet me? He awkwardly shifts from paw to paw. Aw, that's very unexpected and of course flattering, ma'am, but don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of on duty checking the supernatural. He looks around nervously. Alright, you can, but just a little, I have an important business. I reach out and pet him. The fur is warm, soft, and thick. I immediately feel a low vibration. The werewolf is quietly, silently purring. At first, it's barely noticeable movement, but then his short, fluffy tail starts to wag slowly but confidently from side to side. He's a good boy, very, very big but good boy. He deserves praises. I'm the princess of Monarch of this gas station. Although David doesn't seem thrilled, I pull my hand back. Thank you, ma'am. It's been a while since I've been. Anyway, thank you. So getting back to the purpose of my visit. Apologies for the sudden intrusion. Edward, you can just call me Eddie. We're chasing down a certain pest. Aw, his name's Eddie. You haven't seen a vampire around here by chance, have you? You know, young, big scruffy, wearing a leather jacket. You see, here's the story. One of our packs nearly took out a vampire sire and his offspring a few years ago. It was a rough battle. We suffered losses. We tried to track them and found one of them. Well, more like a pile of ash where he once lay. It seems one bloodsucker off the other when he was weakened. The family values are quite lacking. It seems whatever that says had occurred. David didn't tell me anything about that. Probably that's why he had all those questions about vampirism. He was trying to get advice on where to go next after killing his creator, but in a completely idiotic way. You see, ma'am, vampires are parasites on the body of our society. They drink blood like mosquitoes, but unlike mosquitoes, they kill their victims by draining them dry. They languish in boredom with their immortality and thus destroy human destinies, play with them, torment them, and derive a semblance of pleasure from their suffering. They're devoid of true feelings. I look at David, devoid of any feelings. He's shaking all over. So I'd be extremely grateful for any help. Oh my god, no. I'm not gonna give David away anyway, but bro, blackmail tips like this. Don't give David away. Alright, that was a good big stretch. The bastard threatened me 5 minutes ago, but now he's small and trembling and helpless. He's my bastard. First thing I'll say I haven't seen anything. A quiet, peaceful night. Eddie examines me closely, probably catching a faint scent of blood, but my calm demeanor throws him off. Strange. Well, okay. If he shows up, just give a whistle. We won't far away from here. Good night, man. Wolf goes off to his important wolf business. David calls out from his hiding spot. You could have turned me in. He stares into my eyes, trying to peer into my soul and understand what it's made of. And that would have been the sensible decision. I'm glad you're not one of those sensible ones. I feel like you just called me dumb. David says this with genuine relief in his voice. He's grateful to me and now doesn't quite know what to do with that gratitude. He clears his throat awkwardly. So, what's the answer to my question? What would you do if you're a vampire? His gaze reminds me of a lost fighting dog without a master. He's restless and can't find his place. What an advisor he picked. May the Lord help him. I take everything life has to offer. Travel, entertainment, new experiences. The world is full of wonders. And when you're immortal, all doors are open to you. I just surf the internet, decay and rot. Nothing will change. Want to enslave humanity, or at least one neighborhood in this city. Learn so many things, read so many books. I'll probably just go with this one. He chuckles. Oh, still waters run deep and all that. Pity the road of adventure led you to a stinky gas station. Shut up. Maybe you're right. The road isn't limited to this lousy town. He says quietly, almost to himself, looking out the window at the dark, empty highway. As if you just remember there's something beyond this cage of alleyways and gangland showdowns. Here, for future adventures. Money. David says goodbye and leaves. The gas station sinks into absolute silence. Well, that's quite an interesting encounter. I really could have turned him in, but I didn't want to. I don't even know what's worse, this or the offer to go home in a bone carriage. Though something tells me that if I accept, I might not return home at all. I survived another visitor. It seems I'm starting to get used to this job. Wiping off the sticky residue, hoping it's just spilled soda from the counter, I suddenly hear the crunch of gravel outside. Oops. Oops. Oh, this is definitely not another vampire. I'm gonna save right here though. This is a good game. I've been recording for like almost an hour and a half. This is definitely not another vampire. The stranger leans against the counter trying to look casual, but the way his tail twitches betrays his nervous tension. Hi. He clears his throat. What? Hello, babe. My name is Victor. Aren't your parents pirates by any chance? I took his awkward attempt at flirting and made it my own. Is he blushing? Does he look like he's blushing? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he wants this cookie. Now I'm the captain of this ship, since I am true descendant of pirates. Victor nervously taps his hoof on the floor. No? Then why did they get such a sweet peach? His face instantly light up so much that even his ears are smoking, it seems. Thank you. Of course, Victor. I like you, Victor. He shuffles his foot. Miss, actually, I just wanted to give you a compliment. I mean to flirt. Victor makes a vague gesture with his hands as if he's trying to describe a complex mechanism that just exploded. It was all supposed to go completely different. You're supposed to blush and giggle and you broke it all. So he believes it was really supposed to work on real life people. Face is burning. Victor takes another deep frantic breath. Words, man. His stomach is growling so horribly, I hope this guy's okay. Is it really that bad? I mean, is my flirting technique really that terrible? That might have been the best compliment he's ever heard in his life. Probably the only one. You liked it? His voice makes surprise, disbelief, and a shy glimmer of joy. Huh? Well, I'm glad you like awkwardness because I have plenty of it. You probably noticed. I like Victor. Right off the bat, is it really written on my face? Actually, I intentionally chose this tactic to charm you, miss. Of course, everything went according to plan. Yeah, okay, Victor. He calls shyly and mumbles something to himself. Then he shifts his gaze back to me. Actually, miss, I'm here to acquire. He doesn't get to finish. We have a visitor. Is this a praying mantis? She stands next to the counter, clicking her mandibles. Oh, yeah, mandibles. Impatiently. Lady. 2 packs of bears, a pack of screaming cheese, and a pack of fairy fingers, darling. By the way, your gas attendant is a real sweetheart. It's frightening to imagine what my invisible colleague looks like. He hasn't even bothered to say hello. And hurry up, I need to rush. I have a lot of work waiting for me today. Oh wait, I'm starting to pack the order. At the same time, this incubus awkwardly tries to hit on the lady, and I thought we had something special. Apparently, the failed Casanova decided to try his luck on a new victim. Wow, you seem so busy and cool, ma'am. You must have a very wonderful job. Well, it seems to work. She starts clicking her mandibles energetically, producing a buzzing sound that vaguely resembles laughter. Wonderful? Oh yes, wonderful. Wonderful those who don't like to eat, sleep, or see their children grow. Now it's awkward. Really the best job in all the 9 worlds. Speaking of children. Oh, great. She's one of those people. Victor barely recovers from her sarcasm when the lady immediately pulls a wallet out of her bag and unfolds it. Over and over again. It seems endless. This is Gurgu. He has his father's mandibles. Victor gazes into the abyss, and the abyss gazes back, revealing baby pictures. The seduction attempt has failed again. Like any mother, Lady Mantis loved her children and considered it her scarce duty to have every passing incubus about them. To tell every passing incubus about them. This is Gurgu. He's in his rebel phase right now. He pierced his mandibles. Can you imagine? He makes such a racket when he eats. The image of a larvae in a biker jacket makes me snort. It reminds me of David. And this is Gurgi. This is Gurga. They're still larvae, but already so talented. What talents can a larvae have? They just lie there and eat. I do too, though. Wait, don't think about that. You have very beautiful children, ma'am. All 20 of them. Incredibly cute. That's just the first wallet. Oh, I got a bit carried away. I really am in a hurry. Here's your money, darling. Thank you. Victor watches her disappear into the night, and then turns to me with a grateful look. Thank you, miss. I couldn't handle 20 more kids, to be honest. I already broke down at the 8th. And I thought looking after a cat was hard. The lady left very little in tips. Probably all her money went to her children. Richard only remembers he came here to buy something. However, my visitor rarely recalled that. I need a book. Okay. Victor scans my stinking supernatural realm of discount rot and chocolate bars. It's a guide for, well, you know, succubus and incubi. Succubi and incubi. I can't remember what it's called, but I've definitely heard something about it. Can you take a look? It's definitely not for me. It's for my less experienced friend because I'm, you know, an employee of the month in my layer. He didn't specify whether he has the worst or best employee of the month. Well, you know, life force harvesting for dummies or something like that. I hear him mumbling quietly for himself. Such a shame. I should have just stayed home and rewatched. Evelyn gone for the 10th time. What? If Evangelion, there's no way. I made it to the storage room. Just a few hours before, I was rushing around here looking for blood for a very hungry monster. Now all these Val's eyes and tentacles seem less ominous words. A gigantic red moth flies on top of one of the books, or perhaps it's just very tired. I'm rummaging through the book section deep between baboon, whatever that says, and limit of patient of your dead servants. I find a desired volume. I came back from the storage room holding this forbidding, mind-bending treasures titled treasuries title, everything you ever wanted to know about demons and everything you didn't want to know about them. Wow, this is definitely better than those PDF guides and various sites for never mind who. But not for the whole family. Let's study it. Yes, it would be very unusual if you paid me, tipped me, and moved along. I expect too much from this life. But in fact, this will be an entertaining educational lesson. It surely won't be unnecessary. And the guy who looks like those pictures are enough to make him faint. The sooner this is over, the sooner I can send him on his way. I find a cozy spot next to the counter. I pull out the grimoire closer. I open the book, and the pages, yellowed and brittle with age, release a cloud of dust and indecent, horrifying desires. Incubi, the nature of the tempting rogue, hooves of desire. Is this a porno mag? Tempting rogues. Oh, that's me. Yes, definitely me. Hooves are just like mine. You have no idea how awful they clop, especially on tiles. When you sneak into the fridge at night, the whole house wakes up with you. Everyone thinks there's a big clumsy cow living in your apartment. I think you all are incubus. They're all purple. Oh, you're right. All incubi really are purple. I thought my skin color was just some kind of coincidence. You know, like when you create a character in a video game, just spin the color wheel until you stumble upon something weird. It gives me a curious look if it's not entirely sure about the coolness of his purple hue. His face immediately brightens with a smile. Well, yeah, I think it's pretty cool too. It's nice to know you like my, what's it called? The demonic phenotype. Victor turns his attention back to the book and runs his clawed finger down the lines. Incubi, whatever that says, of the vibrant hues of the soul. They draw power not from blood or life force, but the pure potent energy of immortal emotions. And although a refined bouquet of positive emotions is the preferred ambrosia, what a fancy word, can also sustain themselves with more coarse, fickle energies of negativity, despair, horror, and humiliation provided a quick, albeit unpleasant rush of power. It's no wonder that now, after an argument with someone in the comments, I feel like I've eaten a few raisins. Judging by the expression of his face, he clearly isn't cut out for horrors and humiliation. His limit is probably arguing on fortune, also a kind of source of horrors and humiliations, but still a bit different. 4chan? Bro, what is going on here with all these drops? An incubus can, albeit less effectively, form of symbiotic connection by feeding off a single consenting mortal vessel. The mortal vessel in turn can absorb some of the power from the incubus, among other things, their immortality. Wow, sounds like a decent deal. I certainly always have plenty of emotions, mostly hatred for the fact that to earn money you have to work. A whole mountain of raisins for Victor, or whatever he called it. What a relief, just one person. The thought of having to chase after a whole bunch of strangers makes me feel sick. Strangers are the scariest thing right after rent. Yeah, I totally understand you. It's probably even harder to deal with clients like me. Communications is already a horror show in itself, and then you add a literal horror with vampires and ghosts, just a nightmare. He really looks at me with sympathy. He feels sorry for me. I don't even know how to react to that. I guess I can save. Oh, it's been a while since I saved. Trying to understand what people want from you is quite the challenge. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like trying to play a game with its rules changing every 5 seconds. And someone has turned off your screen and you're paralyzed. Basically, yeah, I completely get you. Victor flips through the grimoire, reading the chapter titles. Techniques of road seduction. Juicy emotional juices. Using Leviticus? What? Leviticus? Energies for whatever that says, purposes. I don't even want to know. I just want not to starve without energy and maybe pay my rent. I don't need to be the lusty cousin of Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. His finger finally jabs at a random chapter title somewhere in the middle. Love letters. It seems completely, in whatever that says, outdated, especially the part about carrier pigeon colors. Love letters? Who writes love letters anymore? This should apply to text messages now, right? But this is a good start. Let's work on this before moving on to more complex seduction methods. Pulls out a pen from somewhere, a cheap ballpoint with a little anime cat charm on the end. Aw. I hand him a grease-stained napkin like everything in this rotten place. The book says to convey aching adoration, whatever that says, and a hint of forbidden desire. Victor starts scribbling something on a napkin. Maybe something like this? Oh, brother. Yeah, it does, I guess. Really? You think so? Thanks. I mean, obviously it's a silly picture, but it has a lot of layers of meaning, you know? It's like saying, I'm just a humble being unworthy of your gaze, but I'm supported only by crumbs of your attention. That's not what that says at all. Richard continues to flip through the book, recognizing the desires of the vessel. He scans the first few lines of text. It's all about reserving subtle hints, enter whatever that says, body language, and engaging in candid conversations to uncover the special nature of moral canal desires. He glances at me. What does Vessel Sterling want? The vessel wants money. The vessel wants stable mental health. At the eye. Oof. The vessel wants fame, love, and adoration. Yeah, that's what that says. I'll take this one. Oh, that's a piece of cake. It says here that incubus can always be a muse for an artist. Most of the time, the problem is that you lack the energy to create a masterpiece, not that you're incapable of it. I'm not sure what matters to you, public opinion or just your own, but if you're happy, then I'll be happy too. Feeding off positive emotions, remember? I say I could bring you ideas too, but I'm not very good at creativity, only when it comes to how to creatively crap myself in public. We continue to study this villainous seduction manual. The art of verbal seduction and slippery flattery. To his surprise, Victor finds no mention of the fact that pirate compliments work on living people. We examine the first paragraph, where words are labeled as keys to the treasure chest of the heart, and flattery is described as a powerful aphrodisiac for the ego. It's all very dramatic, but the main idea is quite simple. Say nice things, don't say unpleasant things. This is definitely outdated. If I tell someone that his eyes are double gate-waisted chamber Ellis's, I'll definitely get sprayed with pepper. And this, good lord, when I kiss you, I tremble like a paralyzed beggar. How's that even supposed to work? No, that's even too much for me. Victor clears his throat, and his gaze slides over to me, trying to latch onto something particularly attractive about my appearance. You have very elegant ear shape. No, you. Do I? Thank you. They're very nimble now. But there's no instructions for when someone compliments you back. Probably don't blush, and that's something I didn't manage. He takes a deep breath, gathering his courage for another compliment. Actually, I think you have a very wonderful sense of humor. Like, nothing can really get you, right? Most people would scream, run away in horror, or fall into a true external crisis. I'm the main joker of this greasy gas station. Should I be proud or horrified? I'm gonna be recording for like almost 2 hours in the next like 15 minutes. Smile, that wasn't bad. He smiles gently in response. Despite everything, he starts to relax. He's probably beginning to feel more comfortable around me. I would have never thought a monster would have to struggle with discomfort for interacting with a mortal soul, and not the other way around. Another chapter. To be a mirror, I didn't know we could change. Oh, it's metaphorical. The text describes the principle of mirroring, subtle barring mannerisms, speech patterns, and even express opinions of the victim to create a sense of closeness and understanding. Man, yeah, it's starting to like tear on my voice. The path of least resistance to gaining mortal attachment. So yeah, I'll probably finish up with Victor here and like end the stream. And then I'll probably just edit this to a YouTube video. Oh no, what about all that stuff about just be yourself and everything will work out? My mom lied to me, didn't she? With similar interests, what do ordinary people like? Football and the weather? I like football. I love football. Definitely not anime and Dark Souls. Hold on. Anime and Dark Souls? I actually hate the Dark Souls franchise just because I really suck at it and that's my own personal opinion. But anime? We talking Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yu Yu Hakusho, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, Hajime no Ippo. Chef's kiss. Discussing the brilliant soundtrack of Silent Hill with people is a bad idea, that's for sure. Silent Hill? I'm in love. Alright, practice. The book says that practice is the key to success. Victor lifts his gaze to me. Pay along with me, please, just like we met. Like we just met. Beautiful mortal soul, I have appeared to you in a half dream so many times, but I finally decided to find you in reality. I won't let you go so easily again. Even though the words aren't the most elegant, there's something supernatural about them. Oh my god, it hurts to talk. I still begin to feel a pull. A shiver runs down my spine. Give in to the feeling. He moves closer. His movement suddenly becomes smooth and eerily graceful. I'm gonna save right here, actually. The words this creature now speaks bypass my mind and penetrate straight into the primal parts of my brain. I play along, but part of me realizes this isn't entirely a game. I'm a mortal being, and he's a demon who came from my wretched soul. Dirty talking me. I know this is dangerous, mortal, that it's wrong. It's forbidden fruit, but doesn't that make it all the sweeter? Oh no, the blasphemous reanimates of my reason within me protests. Oh yes, everything else replies. I lean into him with my whole body, eager to hear the last incredibly sensual. Oh darn it, my legs just cramped. Cuts off, we're back into the little gas station. Sorry I couldn't hold that seductive pose for more than 10 minutes, but it seemed like we were doing pretty well, right? What even was that thing? He's flipping through the, oh wait, what does that even say? Last time I said treasury. Treaties? Sure, a bit longer before letting out a sigh. His stomach growls again. It seems he could have used an emotional snack. I think we've covered all the important stuff. I suppose it's time to wrap things up. He starts to rise from the floor. Wait, how did that happen? When no one explained anything to you? Even I had a briefing, 2-minute one. I'll take that one. I'll tell you, but promise you won't laugh. Promise. Relief washes over his face. Yes, wonderful. I accidentally sold my soul in a dark net. He holds a dramatic pause. Go on. What an idiot I was. I dropped out of college back then because of consistent stress. Moved into a tiny dump and barely left my apartment. I was scraping by with some freelance work. Sometimes I chatted with various anonymous folks from 4chan, people without names, gender, or age. And then I stumbled upon a stupid ad. What did I have to lose? Definitely not a demon. 7566 in the chat offered me a chance to escape loneliness later after I turned into this creature. He told me he did it for laughs. He left no instructions, just wrote, "Get good." Get good in the chat and deleted all the context. He was curious to see if I could handle it. His chance to escape loneliness turned out to be putting me into an incredible, deadly situation. There's a hair on my lip. He lifted his eyes to me. This memory is a fresh wound for him. Before I can even respond, he jumps up from the floor. But I've already wasted enough of your time. Clops his way to the counter. Well, to be honest, I didn't really understand much. Those chapters are so strange. He lets out a quiet chuckle. But you know what? It was great. I haven't had this much fun in a while. I think I've even ate properly. Finally, positive energy. I mean, thanks for the lunch. I'm not sure if I needed to pay for that too, but I'll leave some money just in case. His tail twitches awkwardly. I haven't really interacted with people since college killed my will to live. Fair. Same here, man. Same here. It felt strange not to feel like such an idiot around someone. Thank you very much. He tosses some money into the jar, then takes a deep breath and adds, and maybe someday we could, well, hang out together. Not a lesson, just play some silly games like friends. A date? His tail starts waggling wildly, knocking over 3 bags of chips, a can of soda, and a bottle of gloomy D. I'm in, of course. I'm ready. He struggles to retain the flow of enthusiasm, takes a frantic breath. See you then. Goodbye, Sterling. Good luck with your shift. It was nice to meet you. It was nice to meet you too, Victor. The gas station returned to silence, broken only by the hum of refrigerators and my own too loud thoughts. So a crazy god, a vampire thug, and a shy incubus walk into the gas station. Sounds like the start of a really bad joke. My life is now a joke. Just great. I just wanted to pay my bills. I didn't sign up for interdimensional quarrels and therapy sessions for the undead. But on the other hand, I wasn't eaten, I wasn't turned into a piece of furniture, and by standards of this night, that's a resounding success. I cautiously glanced at the door to Pop's office. There's a low guttural humming like a giant disgruntled computer tower was working inside. The clock on the wall indicated it was the end of my shift. With a heavy sigh of relief, I began to close up the place. Finally, I walked to the front door, inserted the key to the lock. I was about to turn it when suddenly, organism. What's up, man? I got that jar filled, so I don't care. I jump in place, nearly dropping everything. Organism, your performance has exceeded all my algorithmic predictions by 47.3%. Oh, thank you. You are not just an organism, you are an efficient, flawless machine for generating currency. I am feeling an emotion your kind describes as mandrill pride. If you keep up the good work, the possibility of receiving a 25-cent bonus will become not just hypothetical, but quite real. Organism, restore energy resources in return for your further exploitation. What a relief. He vanishes as suddenly as he appeared, leaving nothing but ringing silence behind. I stood for a few seconds, processing what I heard, then I slowly turned the key in the lock. Click. First shift completed. I survived. And now I can do anything, which means... What? Shout, cared for the queen. Call Victor. Return to the store to Bob. A romantic evening awaits you, or return home. So I'm actually gonna leave that here and save this for tomorrow. But it's been fun, it's been real. Thank you everybody who tuned in. Y'all have a good day. I love you. Mwah.